There are different ways to get booked in the dance industry, but one of my favorite ways to get booked personally is going to sessions or starting your own session. And if you don't know what sessions are, this is basically what this video is about. I'm going to break that down. A session is when a choreographer privately invites certain people to come to a studio, location, whatever, and execute choreography. And the people that they're inviting are people that they know who are capable to execute their vision. And these are important because usually if you do well in the session, they'll invite you back. You're added to a chat. So if a choreographer is doing some bomb choreo, you're like their go-to people to hit up to be like, hey, like I made this choreo, I want to try it on some bodies. You come to the studio, they post it, maybe you get invited to a class that they're going to do, and it's just a good way to network and put yourself out there. And depending on how well known that choreographer is, if they're getting called to, do bookings and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be the one that's going to get called for that booking. So in my opinion, this is a great way to cut out the middleman, like AKA an agency. I'm not saying agencies aren't important. I'm not saying that they're not, great to have. But if you haven't had the chance to get signed to an agency yet, doing sessions and building relationships with people can put you in a position to get your foot in the door in the industry. And then after you build that relationship, you never know, like there may be some people in the room that are already signed to an agency, or that choreographer may be signed to an agency, and they'll be able to help you get signed so you can get consistent bookings in the future. Now there's another side to it. If you want to be the choreographer, this is a great way to put yourself out there, like no matter like really what level you're on. I do think if you're going to take this route and you want to be the person actually choreographing, it's important to contact people that are around the same level as you, that you respect and know can execute the choreography the way you envisioned it, all those things. And you build and build and build, and you can all grow together, get better together. And then that way, once you're consistently posting and you're getting all this momentum, whoever you're trying to choreograph for, whatever artist you're inspired by, whatever artist you want to work with, if they see your work and they love you that much, they'll hit you up and be like, hey, I want you to dance for me. I want you to choreograph for me. And that's pretty much what happened to me. Like 2023, I heard this song by Mellow Bucks, loved it, loved it down, love her down. And I asked a few people if they wanted to session with me, and we did a session. It was like maybe 30-40 minutes for us to do it. One of the dancers posted it on Facebook, went viral on Facebook. Next thing I know, a couple hours later, Mellow Bucks is like, I want y'all to dance for me. And that just set off a whole thing. And we ended up dancing for her for one of her shows. After that, she asked us to perform with her at Rolling Loud. And that was like my first big booking, which was kind of crazy. But yeah, like sessions can really put you in a position where you can get your foot in the door in the industry. So I would recommend trying to do sessions. I mean, you do have to be either invited to them or, set them up yourself. But if you're consistently training, you're networking, you're putting out good energy, and, you're being positive and people see that work ethic, you should be able to make something happen. And if you are invited to sessions, take that seriously, because everybody isn't invited to sessions. So that would be like my recommendation for that. And if sessions are a new concept for you, I would really challenge you to pay more attention to the dance videos that you're watching online, especially if they come from LA, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, shout out to the home team, Chicago. But start paying attention, because if you see the same people in certain videos, if you see people wearing all black, like eating down, super clean, 9 times out of 10, that is probably a session. Or if it's not a session and you just happen to see like similar people being picked for classes, they may have learned that choreo, before class. Or if they didn't learn that choreo before class, they may just be used to working with that choreographer in sessions so frequently that they just understand the movement and they understand the style of the choreographer. Like they get the flavor. So what I'm putting down is understand that everybody is not getting invited to sessions. Sessions are a privilege. Sessions are something that has to be earned, but once you're in that space, the doors start to open. And just to circle back really quickly, if you do decide to do sessions, this is more so for the people who want to start their own sessions and want to be the choreographer for artists. If you do decide to do this, you can definitely do it without being signed to an agency. My only suggestion is to just be careful, because if you're not signed to an agency, you don't know the legalities and the intricacies of the business side of the entertainment industry, and the business side is just as important as eating up choreo, if not almost, more important, because you want to get paid, you want to build a reputation, you want to set a precedent. So if you're not represented, I would recommend doing Dancers Alliance. Go to that website. Dancers Alliance is a national advocacy group for professional dancers, and it focuses on, fair pay, safe work conditions, and industry standards for non-union workers. So that's one way you can protect yourself and protect the dancers that you're trying to book if you are in the position of being that choreographer. So if you have any questions about sessions, let me know in the comments below. I would love to answer any questions that you have. I don't think everybody knows or understands what a session is unless you're in the dance world in a major city. Because when I moved to Louisiana, I was surprised to discover that people didn't really know what a session is, unless you go to LA or Atlanta or whatever every now and again. So there has to be other places like that as well that don't really know what sessions are, but you see them all the time online. You just don't know that that's a session. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions. Like and subscribe, and yeah, I will see y'all later. One love.